Today I'm going to be addressing a very important question in regards to buying computers and DDR3 RAM. But first, my name is Steve Smith, this is TQA Weekly, and is DDR3 RAM dead yet? No, it's not, but guess what? We've seen this over and over again with SDRAM, DDR, and DDR2 RAM. It's currently happening with DDR3 RAM. It will eventually occur to DDR4 RAM, but what the heck are you saying, Steve? How the hell do I future-proof my purchase of a brand new computer if I'm buying it today? Because people want to future-proof their purchases. It's entirely normal, and it's a balancing act of figuring out how much money I should spend in a computer as opposed to what I should be getting. And it's not quite balanced, and there's a few different decisions you need to make when purchasing parts for a computer. But let's make it easier for you. First, Intel currently supports DDR4 RAM because it has the Z170 line, which is DDR4 native, as well as the X99-3 line, which is for enthusiasts and more expensive, by the way, which is also DDR4 native. I've always suggested to people that you buy a consumer platform because many of the features on the enthusiast boards are either irrelevant or exist on a consumer platform. For AMD, which has basically rested on the FX line for so long, it has become obsolete in my point of view. It's basically an FX processor attached to an AM3 socket supporting DDR3 RAM and PCI Express 2.0. And while it is true that you cannot completely saturate the entire PCI Express bus right now, you will be at one point very soon capable of doing so, so buying a graphics card will actually become an issue for you if you're on that line. However, there is a rainbow in the sky, and it's AMD's Zen architecture, which promises to have native support for DDR4, come out of the gate with PCI Express 3.0 from launch, and will eventually get to PCI Express 4.0. See a trend? AMD and Intel are basically telling you to buy DDR4 because they've all placed their cards in DDR4 RAM. And if you're still not convinced, here are a few more points that you should be listening to. The price of DDR4 is basically the same as DDR3. The price of DDR4 will likely go down as memory doubles per DIMM, which is something that occurs naturally in that part because it becomes easier and easier to add more RAM per DIMM. So currently we have 16 and 32, we'll have 64, 128, and more. And those prices will continue to go down. And their speeds are also higher than DDR3 RAM is. And on top of all else, they are also more power efficient. With one caveat. DDR3 RAM, once production is halted, will experience rarity, where the supply will be continuously going down, the demand will fluctuate. And if the demand goes up too high, it will either put the product into extinction or raise the price so high it becomes too expensive. Not something particularly good if you want to fix an old computer that you just bought thinking it will be future-proof for a long time. So while DDR3 RAM is not dead, it's dying, it will be harder to replace, and its death has been foretold for years since the advent of X99-3. This makes future-proofing a computer as easy as picking a main board that supports DDR4 RAM for now. Don't forget to subscribe to this, like, share, and dislike this episode as you please. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for topics, email me at ask@tqaweekly.com. Go to my website, tqaweekly.com, for everything else. And if you want to make this show better, go to patreon.com/tqaweekly and become a patron today. Patrons of this show get episodes 24 hours in advance. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.